You may have heard us mention this on our channel before, but managing your real estate investments ultimately comes down to managing relationships. Of course, one of the most important among them is the relationship that you have with your tenants. And a key to building strong relationships with those tenants is a quality level of communication and follow-up with them. Hi everyone, this is Brandon with Cosign Equity, a property management company based out here in Southern California. And in this video, we're going to go over how to effectively communicate and follow up with your tenants. From the leasing phase, where you'll be working with the leads that are inquiring about your space for rent, to the ongoing relationship that you build with them once they become your tenant. This will help you be an effective manager and to provide quality service to both them and to your clients. So let's jump into it. Following up with leads. First, let's talk about how the relationship building begins once someone contacts you about your vacant space. As a professional property management company, and with the portfolio size that we oversee, Cosign Equity is fortunate enough to have specific team members whose specific role it is to accommodate all of the inquiries that come in each time we list a vacancy. But especially in today's market, once you begin your marketing campaign, you will likely have a large volume of calls coming in. So whether you have a team that can support you, or you're handling the leasing all by yourself, you will need a system to organize those leads, screen them properly to see if they are a good fit, set up showings so that they can view the property in person, and then receive and evaluate all of the rental applications. Organization with guest cards. With so many phone calls and messages coming in from all of your online ads, along with more traditional advertising tools like signs that you put out in front of your property, you will need to make sure that you have a system in place to keep your team organized and to store all of the information that you receive from the prospective tenants. This will help you to keep track of all of those leads and make sure that everyone receives a response from you as quickly as possible. Something that works wonders for us at Cosign Equity is the guest card feature available in the property management software that we use. Now, this video is not sponsored by Appfolio, but they definitely make it easy to manage the hundreds of inquiries that we receive from all of the prospective tenants. Not only does this allow you to save the basic contact information for each lead, but it also keeps track of each follow-up action that you have taken with them, allows you to communicate via text or email directly through the software, and has the capability of setting up showings of the available space based on the times that you have available. These features allow all the teammates that are involved in the leasing process to receive the same information at the same time, making the response time to each lead much quicker. Our team's commitment is to ensure that we reply to every guest card received during business hours and then attempt to provide an answer to any and all questions from the leads. Ultimately, this will help you to find suitable tenants, lease your vacancies as soon as possible, and provide everyone with an initial level of quality customer service. Screening with lease requirements. Now, as part of the process of responding to guest cards, we need to clearly communicate the lease requirements that the prospective tenant must meet in order to apply for the vacant space. The goal here is to quickly find out if they are a good fit for their property, based on their needs and our client's leasing criteria. Some of the basic requirements that we need to communicate are the minimum credit score for the property, the minimum before tax combined monthly income that both the lead, along with anyone 18 years or older, must make, and whether the property allows for pets. Clear communication is really important here because oftentimes a lead will be so eager to set up a showing of the space and submit a rental application that they simply answer yes to all of your questions without fully understanding them. Now, obviously, we don't want to waste their time, and you or your leasing coordinator likely have plenty of other phone calls and guest cards to attend to. So be very clear of your requirements when you're creating your marketing campaigns, during your initial conversations over the phone, and any other follow-up messages that you send. If it happens that a person doesn't match the property's leasing requirements, we can always help direct them to other vacant spaces within our portfolio that may be better suited for their needs. Scheduling showings. Assuming the lead is a good fit for the property, the next process of communication and follow-up will be the scheduling and coordination of showings. At Cosign Equity, we have a small team that can follow up on guest cards and coordinate with the property manager to find an available time for showings. But regardless of whether you have a team behind you as well, or you're handling the process all on your own, Effective communication here can mean a number of things, including giving the prospective tenant precise directions on how to find the property, where to park, and how much time the showing will take. As that time approaches, it's also a good idea to follow up and send the lead a quick message 1 hour or 30 minutes before the meeting time in order to confirm that they are still planning to see the property. From my experience, this can give them some reassurance that you are considerate of their time, that they should also be considerate of your time, and that you are someone that handles your work professionally. Many prospective tenants really appreciate this, and it helps your property stand out in their mind as they're considering multiple locations. Receiving rental applications. Lastly, in terms of communication and follow-up with leads is the rental application process. Usually the last thing that we'll mention to a prospective tenant during a showing is what we will need in order to review their rental application. Typically, this will involve things like 3 months worth of bank statements and pay stubs, a copy of their ID, and a list of personal references for us to reach out to. Now, because we review applications as soon as they come in, and we almost always have a number of people applying at the same time, we'll also give them a friendly reminder to provide all of this information as soon as possible so that they have the best opportunity to secure a new lease. Exactly how you choose to communicate all this information can make a big difference in how efficiently you move through the rest of the leasing application process. We say this because it's common that despite your best efforts, the lead will provide their lease application with some missing information or incorrect documentation. This seems to be particularly likely if they are applying with a partner, spouse, roommate, or if they are utilizing someone as a co-signer in order to meet the leasing requirements. But too much back and forth trying to get the right documentation can lead to frustration for both of you. So do what you can to make sure that they understand what is necessary to review their application as quickly as possible, and be redundant by sending it to them in writing as well. Following up with tenants. Now let's talk about how to communicate and handle the relationship once a lead officially becomes a tenant. After all, it's important to start off strong with a positive and respectful tenant-landlord relationship, since in most cases, you're going to be working with this person for at least 1 full year, and you will likely have to cooperate with each other in order to solve any small, more routine maintenance issues, as well as unexpected emergencies that pop up and affect their use of the space. Response time and responsiveness. No matter the kind of property that you're managing, whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, when issues do eventually arise, one of the first things that tenants will notice is the response time and responsiveness by the property manager in simply acknowledging the issue and communicating initial expectations. Of course, people want to feel heard, and so as property managers, it's important for us to listen to our tenants and to reassure them that their issues with the property are actively being solved. At Coastline Equity, we have a commitment to respond to every call or message that comes our way within the hour. And then of course, aside from simply acknowledging or receiving their inquiry, our commitment is to find a solution to that problem as soon as possible. We're also fortunate to have a good team and property management software to support us, which means that any given maintenance request that is made through the tenant's online portal is seen by multiple people. This could be the property manager themselves, the maintenance team, or an assistant property manager. Once you are able to give that quick initial response, good tenant follow-up involves letting them know what you are planning to do to solve their issue, who you are planning to contact, and when they can expect to receive the next update, particularly when issues involve frequently used areas of the building, such as garages, or particular services, such as water. Tenants feel more comfortable and are much more understanding of the situation when they trust that you are working on their issue and that you will automatically provide updates as you go along. Documentation of communication. Another important thing to remember is to save and document the communication that you have with all of your tenants. As we mentioned before, an online tenant portal is immensely helpful because it not only enables the tenant to communicate with the management team, but it also saves those conversations in an organized and easily searchable way. Why is this important? Well, when disputes arise, they can serve as a reminder of previous conversations or agreements. Having all of this communication documented in writing in one convenient place can be a lifesaver. This is why you should always ask tenants to provide important information in writing through their online portal. Again, this will also enable any other teammates in your property management office to assist you. So with everything well documented in your property management software, your team can pick up where you left off and allow you to handle other emergencies that you might have elsewhere. Work orders. Lastly, let's get even more specific about the follow-up that should happen between you and your tenants when work is being requested. Again, utilizing property management software is helpful because it allows you to see work orders, whether you're at your desk in the office or out in the field and on a mobile device. You can then respond to the tenant directly through that work order and start coordinating whatever needs to be done. Sometimes this may mean finding 3 different vendors, collecting bids, and comparing them through the software. Other times, such as during more urgent matters, you can simply assign a well-trusted and frequently used vendor to the job directly from that work order. The tenant will be able to see the vendor's information as well, helping you to coordinate access to the tenant's space. An online work order process will help you to coordinate, save, and document everything about each job that is done, all in one convenient place. And this, in turn, makes the billing, accounting, budgeting, and pretty much all other facets of managing your long-term real estate investment so much easier. As you continue to manage properties, you will develop your own unique style of communication and build a level of trust and accountability with your tenants. So long as you always strive for quick responses, clarity in your communication, and good documentation of that communication, you'll have a great foundation for building better relationships with your tenants and better serving your clients. From all of us here at Coastline Equity, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.